about EDM music about 4 years ago. My then 18-year-old son, he was really into this music, and he played it around the house all the time. It was kind of a little reminiscent of the 70s and 80s of my day. It had a strong kind of a disco beat, but it also had a really deep bass drop. And it was different in the way that it had a crescendo that you would wait and wait and wait, and then the bass would just drop. So I just kind of became familiar with it as he was playing it around the house. My son, his big dream was to go to one of these big ultra music festivals and to participate in them. And one of them was going to be in Florida, Miami, and you know what? He went, and he went by himself. Brave boy. I was a little concerned, but he did it anyway. And we knew, my husband and I, that we could live stream it, and so we decided we'd live stream this concert and see what it was all about. We actually, believe it or not, saw him on the live stream when he was there. Out of all those people, it was pretty amazing. But I just wanted to tell you, when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid for my son. My first impression was, did he join a cult? I really was wondering what it was all about. But soon I kind of noticed the fast-paced beat and the rhythm of it, and I decided to familiar myself with it a little bit more. I actually found out that it was great workout music, and I soon found also that there were some DJs in this music that I really liked, and I just latched onto it, and then I became a fan. So if you've not yet experienced this musical feast, which is called EDM, it stands for electrical dance music, don't be too quick to judge, but just try to check it out. I think you'll really like it. You too might just find that you'll find your favorite DJ and then be swept away into the EDM magic. So in this speech, I will be discussing 3 main points: the world of EDM, the festivals, the costumes, and the culture, the music and the elaborate staging effects, the physical aspects and the healing aspects of music in general, particularly this one, and I will explain those later. So let's talk a little bit about this world of EDM and the ultra music festivals. You can see I've got some visuals right here. You can just look at those as I'm talking. Okay, so ultra music festival hosts over 24 festivals a year, and they're always a 3-day event. It's one of the largest festivals, and it's highly popular among young and old. Festival goers agree that festival life is an escape from judgment, prejudice, and a place of acceptance and creative energy. In an interview with a festival goer, he offers this personal description. It's euphoric in feeling, it's a happy place with friendly people, it does not matter your race, your religion, or where you are from. Everybody there is there for a common reason, and that is the music bringing them together. People of all shapes, sizes, and culture come together for this wonderful, enormous, beautiful experience. It's all about the sounds and the sights. Okay, there's at this Ultra Music Festival, as you are going to be seeing, there are over 100,000 people that come to this and attend it. Can you imagine that many people in one place? It's really quite amazing. If you ever get a chance to attend one of these festivals, it might be a good idea to know a few things that will enhance your experience. For instance, expressing your own individuality is really important. It has a lot to do with your costumes and how your costumes are going to portray your individuality. They are colorful, bizarre, super eccentric, flirty flowers, and tutus. Or you can just wear simple shorts and t-shirts and you're good to go. One important note that you might want to remember is you can never accessorize too much. So planning the perfect costume can become quite an extensive ordeal. I've actually seen this amongst my family members who have gone. And it just takes time, preparation, and lots of thinking about what the perfect costume is going to be. Remember though, when you're expressing one's own personal style and personal self-reflection, it's really important for that festival experience. So for instance, spirit hoods. Is this moving?
No.
Okay, let's get it going here. So spirit hoods are kind of an animal-shaped headgear that they wear. This was the closest I could get to it. And they're furry, and some people wear horse heads or animal heads. I know it sounds really bizarre, and it kind of is, but it's just what it is. So they also have jewelry, and the jewelry is referred to as candy, K-A-N-D-I. And these are brightly colored beads, and they make them into bracelets. And these are exchanged amongst all of the festival goers to signify friendship, endless bonds, and lasting relationships. Another thing is when you're wearing you wear bright colors, and this is really great for when the lights go down and the sun goes down, everything kind of glows and just kind of makes the vibe really exciting. So when you wear those rainbow colors though, it also signifies diversity, hope, and inclusiveness. So tutus, flowers are not just for ballerinas anymore. A single bracelet, one of those candy bracelets that I told you about, it has a universal motto amongst all of the festival goers. It's capital P, capital L, capital U, capital R. And that means peace, love, unity, and respect. They exchange them by locking hands. Well, they do like hand signals, like peace is like peace, love, and then unity, and then respect, they interlock their fingers, and then they exchange the bracelets, which is kind of an interesting thing. If time shows, when it comes to putting on a safe and well-prepared festival, event organizers are top-notch in this area. They are experts at putting together all the right elements to make a great concert and great festival, such as water stations. They have plenty of water stations. This is for readily available for everybody that comes. If you have heat exhaustion, medic stations that help with injuries of any sort, and lots of really great food. Being prepared with the right costume or the right attire and the exceptional music and the diversity in culture is so fun and so well worth your time. So now that you've kind of got the feel of the vibe of this festival, let's take a look into the real reason for these festivals, and that is the music. The music and the stages are brightly colored and just elaborate in all sorts of ways. There's a lot of time that goes into them. And this is what the festivals are really famous for. EDM has to go through, back in the day, it had to go through kind of a metamorphosis, a sort of, and then eventually it created its own genre. The music evolved and the lights evolved, and I will mention how that happened also later. EDM music comes from the past, and both in sound and in sight. It is a universal language across many cultures. Disco music of the 70s, 80s gave birth to this music. In Chicago, DJs would go down into this little dive place, it was called the Warehouse, and that's where they would play the disco music, and the DJs would get a hold of it, and they would mix it, and they would blend it, and they would blend all these different sounds, and soon it became, and it got nation recognition. It went from Saturday Night Fever and disco balls to deep rhythmic beats and beautiful light explosions. In the 90s, EDM took off, and it took off really big time, and it was given the worldwide name of EDM, which represents all of the warehouse music come together. The well-known DJs of today quickly became popular. One of my favorite is deadmau5, and these DJs were just becoming so popular. And this is where they started putting on these big festivals. Thousands of people would come, and today the stages and the light shows have become an assault on the human senses, creating a carnival-like atmosphere. It is beyond what the fans will hear and what they will see, and it is more focusing on what they will feel. Lieberman, he is the creative mind behind these elaborate stages. He is referred to as the mastermind of light. He's the one that personally designs all of these stages and puts together all these lights. Each stage has a theme and it complements the music, perfectly choreographed to the music. Each bulb is like a massive puzzle working together to just create the perfect atmosphere. Lieberman admits that it's heartbreaking to watch a stage come down in only a few hours. So by now, I know you're kind of curious, aren't you? I've created a beautiful visual description that exceeds any judgments, I'm sure. So you should go to one of these festivals, and it'll be a lifetime of memories for you. Okay, but there are some people that object to these because they feel like it might be a place where there might be excessive drug use. But be assured that event organizers are vigilant and well aware, and they address this issue head on with success. There's a nonprofit organization that's set up there at the festivals, and they're called Dance Safe, and they do pill testing. I know that sounds so bizarre, that people can take their powders and their pills there to get tested, but they actually have proven that it's safe, and it does affect, lives and save lives. So this is a proactive call for safety, and which is good, but we also remember that there is a choice involved here. And clearly making the better choice to stay clean and sober will make your experience at EDM much more memorable. So earlier I mentioned that EDM music is known to have some positive healing effects on the body. There's a producer, Savant, and he has Asperger's disorder. And he admits that producing this music has changed his life. Music has allowed, he says this, quote, "Music has allowed me to express myself in a way that most disorders like Asperger's would not allow." The Alzheimer's Society also adds to this notion, stating that people with Alzheimer's who listen to music with a beat and participate in dance show decreasing signs of anxiety and depression. This further applies to other mood disorders. So one festival goer also that I interviewed also said, "There is something magical that exists at an electronic dance music festival. What began as a night out has turned into a lifestyle that has been exceedingly rewarding." So bottom line, EDM dance music and festivals are exhilarating. They're diverse in many cultures and packed full of sights and sounds. So now you know that the music can have a positive effect on the body. It can ease the worries in the mind in a world of progressing fear and despair. A good bass beat and a tutu is all a person needs. So I stand here tonight, and I encourage you to go and experience this pure magic, EDM magic.